Let's give it up for Fyfe Hall!
How's it going, everybody? Having a good night. Good to see you all. My name is Fyfe. I go by my middle name, actually. My full name is Andrew Fyfe Hall IV. So, as you can guess, my dad goes by Andrew Fyfe Hall III. And my grandfather went by Andrew Fyfe Hall II. And my great-grandfather was Andrew Fyfe Hall, the slave owner. I'm unemployed right now, but and so I'm at home a lot, and my wife works, and sometimes I worry that she resents that I stay home and play video games and do whatever I want while she works hard. But she never says it to me. The other day I overheard her talking to our cats, and she was like, "Oh, hey, buddy, did you sleep all day like your daddy? I bet you could get a job if you had to. You're lucky someone goes to work so you can stay home and do whatever you want, like smoke pot and play video games. Whatever cats do." But I've been married for about a year and a half now, and one thing I've noticed, hey, thanks, wife. And one thing I have noticed is that when you're married for that long, you start to notice that you're getting the same fights over and over. I mean, they're about different things, but the template's about the same. You know, it's kind of like marital Mad Libs for me. Our last fight was like, honey, did you remember the action verb? I was like, no, I'll get to it right after my favorite pastime. You didn't forget, did you? I know I mentioned number over 100 times. Well, I'll get to it. Just get off my part of body, okay? Is this an obscure reference? No, but I'm sure it's going to end up being about a name of ex-boyfriend who died under suspicious circumstances. That might be more of my fight that we have. That might not apply to all you guys. But when I'm at home, one thing I do is I smoke pot, and but I'm old-fashioned. I don't have a medical marijuana card. I've got a drug dealer, because I just like danger, and also I love his children. They're just one of them's learning the metric system. Okay, it's fair. 3.5 grams every single time. But some of my friends do have medicinal marijuana cards, and I always think, I have two things to say to these people. You are abusing this system. You are not sick. And two, can you get me some more of that shit you got last time? That was the best I ever smoked. But it's hard to take medicinal marijuana seriously because it doesn't have these pharmaceutical names that other drugs have. You know, they don't have slogans. They really should. I mean, like, what does OG Kush really do? I mean, who knows? But if they had a slogan for medicinal marijuana, it would work perfectly. Like, got that meeting that you're supposed to go to but need to miss? Try sleeping in. Or, from the makers of Sleeping In, want to find out if hot dogs and maple syrup go together? Try Eat It All. Or, when there's just not enough time to do everything you have to do today, procrastinate. But another problem with it is that we don't give a dosage when we're prescribing marijuana. You know, this is the only drug we do this with. It's not like, all right, Mrs. Johnson, I'm going to prescribe you some painkillers for your back. If you want to make your way on over to the Vicodin trough, take whatever you think you need. Go in your pockets. Go ahead. Yeah. No. So when I'm not smoking pot, I'm usually asleep, which usually leads. I was like the other afternoon, I was having this really vivid dream, and when you have a vivid dream, sometimes you have to look for things in it to try and find out, am I dreaming? So it was like, Fyfe, we're really excited to bring you into the space program. This resume really blows all the other candidates away. We just have to call the home office and make sure everything's checks out. Yankee 95, I'll come in, please. It sounded so real up until the phone. But But when you're home a lot, you watch a lot of television, and I love the Food Network, but I actually can't stand these culinary competition shows, because the judges on these shows, I think their only purpose is to create suspense and not give a straight answer. Because they'll be like, Chef number one, what did you think of the food? I thought this food was delicious, terrible. I would not feed this food to my worst enemy, because I would want it for myself, so that I could poison myself with it, and hopefully be resurrected by its flavor. Coming out after the break, we'll find out if the food judge will put the food in his mouth that he says he loves or doesn't. Another thing I do a lot when I'm at home is I play video games, and online video games are incredible these days. Cameron and I play against each other. He's amazing. And but when you create an online profile, you have to create a username, and you want to create something that's cool and creative as well. Like I have one friend, his is Serial Killer 23. He's not a murderer. He loves Cheerios, Fruit Loops, whatever, And then there's another guy, Psycho Monkey 25. He's a veterinary psychologist. You got to be creative. Or there's Racist Mike 57. He actually just doesn't like black people. That's not quite as creative and not that cool. But I actually did have a few days of work recently. A friend got me a job, and one of the things about when you get a new job is the first few days you're really just trying to not look like an idiot. And when he was there and he's introducing me to my coworkers, my confidence was at peak. It felt like he was holding back a Mustang. He's like, I'm going to unleash this guy in this company. It's going to be crazy. And I'm like, yeah, it's going to be crazy. Until 20 minutes later, when he's gone, I'm in my first meeting by myself, and I get this question from Phil, who's like, well, if you take a look at the spreadsheets, you'll see that the CPR is really not effective in the region. Fyfe, you're the new guy. Any idea what we can do to improve the CPR? And I'm like, don't look like an idiot. Well, good question, Phil. Yes, of course. Let's look at what CPR really means. It's pulmonary. It's a resuscitation device that you use. It's mouth. Actually, Fyfe, right now, what it means is a cost per retailer. Phil, can you not interrupt me when I'm trying to explain a metaphor? Okay, you look really stupid if there's anybody else in this meeting right now. Is this your first day? But I was eating some bugles the other day, and I offered them to my vegan friend. And this is how he took the package. He looked at the back, looked at the ingredients, and was so astonished by how bad they were for you. Really, buddy? They're named after a brass instrument. What are you expecting? Okay, but he does have a good point. You need to look at what you're eating. And I made a dietary choice recently, because I needed to. I've gone tofu free. I've gone soyless completely. Because I actually didn't know where tofu came from. I wasn't really sure. So I looked it up, and it's a pretty brutal process, actually. Pretty barbaric. What they do, if you're not familiar, is they take a healthy, innocent soy plant, and they strip it of its arms and its legs, and they call these things the pods. They then take the pods and sever the abdomen, removing the future offspring. After that, they waterboard these poor babies, as if they're not clean enough. Okay, I mean, you just have to ask yourself, is my tofu burger really worth it, or is this murder? But holidays are coming around. Got the in-laws coming to town, and it's always tough when I'm with my in-laws because my mother-in-law always wants to cook the food, and I just have to sit there and let her cook it. And sometimes she'll be like, Fyfe, what did you think of the mashed potatoes? And I'm like, those mashed potatoes, I wouldn't feed them to my worst enemy. Guys, that's my time. Thanks a lot.